And that's it, my brother. What a cool thing he told me. Tell me something about your sister Karina.
I like to read the Bible, and I was with the people at church. I took the bus. I went to Villa Carrao in the Community of Grace to attend Mass on a Tuesday. I went home. I went quietly because we lived in a room. So when I arrived at night, I had to take it out. The mattress behind the wardrobe was on the living room floor, and then we varied there from time to time, with my sister sleeping on the living room floor, and sometimes my father and my mother sleeping, because it only had a small room, and that night I arrived very late. I swear I didn't need to swear, but I swear to you, when I got home, I saw my father and mother sleeping on the living room floor. Something told me. I looked and said what life would be like if my father died now. It gave me a hard time. I don't know how to explain it, but it happened. I went to my room and lay down with the feeling that something was going to be shaken in the house. And maybe I literally didn't know that it was my father who was dying, but it was subjective and I don't know how to explain it. I woke up after a few hours. My father was lying on the living room floor. I left the room. My sister woke up. I held my father in my arms like this. He was having a heart attack. He died in my arm. We called an ambulance, but my father, he died in my arm. We still tried to help him, take him to the public hospital, but he had died there. And I was sitting at the hospital guide. A doctor came and said, "Unfortunately, your father died." I was 18 years old. I didn't have a career. I didn't have a job. My mother didn't have a job. My sister didn't have a job. And the one who really supported the house was my father. My father. Dad was a very nice guy. Dad didn't drink. He didn't smoke. His life was the family was unemployed. He was that obsolete guy who was past his prime, had already been fired from the job he spent his life working at, so he turned his hand to support the house. The doctor came and looked at me and said he died, and what came to mind that I will never forget. Thessalonians 5:18, which is, "In everything give thanks." This was the first thing that came to my mind. This phrase was the first thing that came to me at all. Give thanks when you're there. You know that in seconds you think about a lot of things that happened. And in that instant, in that phrase, at all. Hence grace. The head racing a mile a minute in a matter of milliseconds. Reasoning in everything, hence grace. And what is outside of everything? Nothing. Everything is everything. If it's all, it's all. It's to give thanks in everything. It's to give thanks when I win and when I lose when I was born. When I died and when I had my father alive, now that my father died, and there I gave thanks to God. Amen. And after 6 months, my sister dies.